Imagine you were kept in a locked room, and for the sake of the scenario, you couldn't escape. You could move around this room, but that's about it. Now, I think we could all agree that time would go by slower in this room. However, how would you feel about what happened in the room after you left it? Sure, you'd probably first think of how slow and excruciating the whole ordeal was, but you would also probably feel like it was a blur, in a sense, because while time may have passed there, nothing new happened there. You were just in a room alone with nothing to track time, and so your brain just started compiling multiple moments into one. And while this may be a made up scenario, this is how most people live their lives. Because just like how in that room you're doing the same things over and over again because of lack of variety, our lifestyles are the same. Let me show you what a routine that I made up. 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. you wake up, 7:30 to 8:30 you commute to work, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. you work, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. you commute back home, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. it's evening time, whatever that may entail. 8 p.m. to 10:30 you wind down, I guess, and 10:30 to 11:30 you sleep, or what I would do normally is cry myself to sleep. Now you're doing this 5 days a week, or the average person does, besides the weekend, of course, but I'd say the weekends is just the latter part of your normal day in an extended form. Now then, exactly how are you supposed to feel like life isn't a blur when every day is practically identical? I mean, we could mismatch all these days and they'd be the same thing basically. So instead of being confined into a room, like in the scenario before, you're confined to a world where you see the same places, the same people, same neighborhoods every day. And after doing this for so long, how will you distinguish the days when they're basically identical? Just imagine if we put your life in a time lapse and we only played your weekdays, and your clothes are the same just for the sake of continuity. Do you believe you would see much of a difference in your day-to-day life? Or do you believe it would be practically the same for most of it? Now, for the two people who feel like their life wouldn't look the same, well, that's pretty cool, but if you're like the majority and you feel like your life would look the exact same, you have what I like to call eat, work, die syndrome, or what others would call, who are not as intelligent as me, Groundhog Day syndrome. But I prefer my term more, mostly because I invented it. It makes me feel smart. Now, in all honesty, I don't feel like I fully understand this feeling. I'm only 17 as of now. In a year, I'll be a year older. Although seeing how bad it is now, I'd rather not think of the future. Because apparently I'm going to have a midlife crisis someday, and I'm not very excited for that. However, something I also want to point out is that this feeling isn't just affecting the way you perceive time, it also affects how fast it feels for you, which is kind of obvious, but with this sort of routine where we're doing the same thing every day, life doesn't just feel like a blur, it also causes time to go by very fast. Because the way our brains work, I think, when we think about something in the past, we don't really think about, we can't just think about how it all happened in the past. If I'm trying to think about the last year, I'm not just gonna have my brain think about the whole last year. I mean, that's really ineffective. So our brain sort of cuts it up in pieces, like the most important events or the most important things to remember, and that's how you perceive the past. But the thing is, with these routines, everything's the same. So what are you really gonna remember? I mean, maybe you'll remember when your boss was really mad at you because that's a standout moment, but we don't have really any standout moments in these routines. It's basically the same thing every day, right? And so when you look back on the past, or it's just all nothing basically, because there's nothing that stands out. You just look back and you see nothing basically. And you may be so used to doing the same thing every day that it just passes by like that because it's so expected. So, at least for me, a certain panic in my head starts to arise because a big chunk of my time has essentially just came and went away. Not actually, but it feels like it. And I can't really tell you what happened or what I did in that period or what I learned. Even if it's only 4 months that go by like this, let's say, it also means another 4 months could just come by like this. Okay, and then another 4 months, and then you're looking at a year. And a year is a lot of time, for me at least. However, I found a sort of solution for this personally, all right? It's what I call writing in my journal, because it sounds more masculine, but it's what others call journaling or diary. It doesn't have to be about your life. I don't talk about, the friendships I make, because I'm a man. I really just write about like what I'm feeling. No, not how I'm feeling. That's not masculine at all. I write down about what I'm thinking. Like if I'm struggling with this sort of dilemma, I write down about that or what I feel. I mean, it's probably better if you write down about your life, because what I'm basically saying with this is that if you write down about how your brain is, not your brain, if you just write down, you can sort of examine your brain and how it's felt on certain days. You know, if something really bad happens today, in 1 year, you're not going to really remember that pain. But if you write it down, you can sort of have a keen insight into your mind, which is what I like about writing. You can see into someone's mind. And so with this journal, you're basically writing every day or every week. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how much to write. I can't force you. But then you can look back on this and you can sort of see, oh, this is what I was thinking. This was what happened. This is how I was feeling. You can sort of see these things that you've forgotten because you've become so desensitized, you know, with this routine. And it sort of gives you a better grasp on reality, and it helps a bit. Now, of course, it isn't a full solution. I can't give you a full solution. I don't know it myself. But it's been very helpful to me because, you know, at least when thinking about the past, I have a very brief look on it. Right, I can sort of see the things that my brain's forgotten. That's kind of helpful. All right, and you know, when I look in the past again, I only really look at the past 2 months. Right, what happens recently is what I feel is my whole life. You know, but when I start to see what I wrote down, how I was feeling, I can be like, you know, maybe my life isn't just the past 2 months. Maybe it's the last 17 years of my life. So I can see how I changed or what I've done, and it helps me. I have a better grasp on the passage of time. How much time is this at? Couldn't get the 8 minutes. Unfortunately, can't put ads on this. Well, I couldn't put ads on this either way because I have 1 subscriber, and that's myself. I subscribe to my channel. So please like and subscribe so I can make money someday. Off this, I can just, you know, give you a bunch of garbage advice. No, I don't think it's garbage. I like my advice. And you just make money off it, right? And then, you know, I mean, what better treat is there? Just making money off YouTube and not, you know, giving anything to society. Because, Mom, I don't want to get a job. I don't want a job, maybe. I don't want a job. Maybe I just want to sit home all day and there's nothing I can really say that's appropriate. All right. Well, thank you. Please like and subscribe if you heard this. It's my second video, so don't be... I mean, if you want to leave a hate comment, please leave a hate comment, because I just need any comment, really. That's how algorithm works, right? The more comments you leave, the more attention you get. So please leave a comment, positive or not positive. I really just need attention right now. Little post one for the video. I'm sick. I wasn't sick while recording it. I just wanted to let you know that I'm sick. Right now, when I'm really sick, it's actually taking me like 2 weeks to make this because life is such a blur. At least that's what I blame it on. So yeah.